Self.
To sell.
Yeah! Hey everyone, welcome back to South to South. My name is Heem, that's Nick. We're back at it for another Trivia Tuesday. This time we're doing
blood flow through the heart. So we're just going to learn about go through some heart anatomy and heart physiology and how blood is pumped into the heart and out into the rest of the body. So pretty straightforward quiz, but it's always kind of interesting to learn how different organs work, and especially with the heart, how big it is, how you can monitor it and everything. So
how powerful it is.
And how powerful it is. All right, I'll take the first 13 questions. It's 26. We're going to fire through these. Almost fell. We're going to fire through these. These shouldn't be too terrible. I will record now. Oops. Okay. Let's go. Question number 1. Deoxygenated blood enters the heart from the body in the blank. Is it the pulmonary veins, pulmonary arteries, aorta, or vena cava? It's vena cava. It's the largest vein in your body. Let's see. Question number 2. Deoxygenated blood is pumped from the heart to the lungs in the pulmonary veins, pulmonary arteries, aorta, or vena cava. It's going to be the pulmonary arteries. This is the only time arteries take blood away from the heart when it's not oxygenated. Okay, question number 3. Oxygenated blood is brought from the lungs to the heart in the blank, pulmonary veins. So it's the same thing as the pulmonary arteries. It's the only time veins bring oxygenated blood back to the heart. Okay, question number 4. Click on the answer you feel best answers the question. When the blood is brought to the lungs, it releases oxygen to the lungs, it releases carbon dioxide to the lungs, it releases carbon dioxide and collects oxygen, and it releases oxygen and collects carbon dioxide. It's going to be C. We breathe out CO2, we bring in O2.
What?
Crazy, I know. Okay, question number 5. Blood flows from the right atrium to the right ventricle through this valve. So the mitral valve or the bicuspid valve, the aortic valve, the pulmonary valve, or the tricuspid valve. It's the tricuspid valve.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a mitral. What is a mitral
You got
valve?
it right. Mitral's on the left side.
Okay, when's bicuspid then?
Bicuspid is the mitral valve.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
2 different, you can call them either one. You know why it's called the mitral valve?
No.
You know a Catholic bishop? You know the hat they wear? Pointy hat?
Oh no, it looks like that?
I'm not even lying.
It
It literally looks like that. So they call it. It looks like two miters is what they're called. So it's called the mitral valve.
The more you know.
Isn't that crazy? It's wild. Okay. Question number 6. What separates the heart, the left and right sides of the heart? Is it the septum, tricuspid valve, pulmonary valve, or aortic valve? It's going to be the septum. That one's pretty straightforward.
I thought septum was in your nose, to be honest.
Well, think about it. The septum separates your 2 nostrils, right? So you have a septum in your heart too. It's down the middle. Okay, question number 7. Blood travels through this vein when heading to the pulmonary arteries. Or through this valve. Why did I say vein? I don't know why I said vein.
Huh?
Blood travels through this valve when heading to the pulmonary arteries.
This is the mitral.
No, this is the pulmonary valve.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. It's not the tricuspid. It already went through the tricuspid, going from the right atrium to the
Left.
right atrium, left ventricle. No.
Right atrium.
Right.
Right atrium, left atrium. Right.
It's the pulmonary valve. We're just gonna sit here and confuse ourselves. The blood doesn't cross. Doesn't it just go straight down and then back and around? Right to right and then left to left?
Yeah, it goes down and then...
And then out to the lungs and then back in the left side and then down the left and then through the aorta back towards your throat. Okay. Question number 8.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
That's where oxygen...
Okay. Question number 8. Which chamber does oxygenated blood enter the heart first? So oxygenated blood. Left ventricle, left atrium, right ventricle. We just had this discussion. It's the left atrium. It's my part of the quiz, Keen.
Dude, you just educated me, though.
I try. Try. So, this is question 9. The inferior vena cava and superior vena cava are examples of what blood vessel? Valves, arteries, veins, or capillaries? These are veins. They're both bringing deoxygenated blood back to the heart.
I did not know that.
Question number 10. The valve found on the right side of the heart is called the aortic valve, the pulmonary valve, the tricuspid valve, or the mitral valve. That is the tricuspid valve. Boom. And then question number 11 is blood travels from the left ventricle through this valve heading to the aorta. Is it the mitral valve, pulmonary valve, aortic valve, or tricuspid valve? That's going to be the aortic valve, just so that there's no backflow. Valves are really interesting, especially in the heart, so the blood doesn't go back. And that's when people, like when you go to get your like heart checked on and they hear like this like a little like gushing, like that's good, but they can actually like hear like this backflow.
Yeah.
If there's like damage to the valves and they have to go in, people will like put in like pig valves, or for like the Jewish community or people who don't eat like pork, right? They will actually put like these little like balls in like this cage so that like blocks it. So like when the blood goes down, the ball goes down, but if it tries to push back up, the ball blocks it and it forces it forward. So like there are stories of like people who can like hear like their grandparents, like when they're like asleep, like they're in the living room super quiet, they could hear the ball going up and down.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can't imagine.
It's kind of wild. So, okay, question number 12. What is the valve separating the left atrium from the left ventricle called? That is the mitral valve. So, we've gone through all these valves. Mitral is correct. All right, this is my last question. Question 13. The superior vena cava carries oxygenated blood. That is false. Okay, you're up.
That was actually very impressive.
13 for 13.
That was really, really good.
The heart's one of my favorite organs.
Well, I don't think I'll go 100 for 100% like Nick did. Maybe he can help me out. So, question 14. Let's see. The inferior vena cava carries deoxygenated blood. I think that's true, because it comes from the rest of your body, finally entering the heart. Nice. Question 15. The pulmonary artery carries oxygenated blood to the lungs. Carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Okay, false. Thank you. Question 16. Which blood vessel carries blood from the heart to the lungs to receive oxygen? And that's your pulmonary artery. Nick went over that. It's the only artery that takes deoxygenated blood away from the heart. Usually veins do that, or to the heart. But the pulmonary, question 17, the pulmonary veins carry deoxygenated blood to the left atrium. The pulmonary veins carry deoxygenated blood. That's false. It should be oxygenated. Yay! Question 18. Veins carry blood to the heart. That is true. Correct. Let's go. Question 19. The human heart has blank chambers. 4 chambers. Left, right. Left, left, right, right. Or right, right, left, left.
3.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Fun fact for you.
Question 20. The upper chambers of the human heart are called the artery, ventricles, valves, or atria. I think atrium, because from the atrium you go to the ventricle. Ventricle goes back up, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to say atria. That's correct. Nice. Question 21. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. True. Let's go. We're like flying through this. Question 22. Capillaries are the largest blood vessel in the heart. That's false. Capillaries are like your smallest. That is where the diffusion happens between your red blood cells and your oxygen. And then oxygen-rich blood flows from the lungs into what chamber? oxygen-rich blood flows from the lungs to your left atrium. Correct. Question 24. Carbon dioxide-rich blood enters the heart through what chamber? Carbon dioxide-rich blood. Right atrium. Correct. Question 25. Let's go. Which blood vessels have the thickest walls? Arteries, veins, capillaries, option 4. The thickest walls would mean something that can have a lot of force to push blood. So I'm going to say something that will need to have systemic circulation. So I'm going to say your arteries would have the thickest walls, not your veins or your capillaries. So I'm going to say arteries. That's right. Question 26. Let's go. Last one. The left side of the heart contains oxygenated blood. And that's true. I can't believe we just 100%ed that.
That's the first 100% we've gotten in
A little while.
probably a couple months. So
Yeah.
always fun to go back and learn about the heart. Like I said before I left, the heart's one of my favorite organs.
Didn't we get 100 on the brain quiz recently? 2 weeks ago?
I think we did.
Whatever.
We did. Hey,
We're doing good.
it's easy. It's easy out here in these streets when you're doing, second year college now. So,
What is this when we know regenerative medicine?
Oh, don't say that.
Oh my god. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
I'm
well,
kidding.
you got anything else?
That's all.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for another Trivia Tuesday. This has been Cells of Cell. I'm Nick. That's Heem, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.